Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Debbie.
Welcome to Debbie and Kelly Live.
All right, what are we talking about today, Kelly?
Food.
Yes, how to create the best salad. And I'm talking about like restaurant style salad. This is good.
Super flavorful. Well, you have had. Sorry, I'll use the word resolution. It's not the right word, but as long as I've known you, your mission is to get in one massive salad a day, and then whatever else happens, fine. But you go for those nutrients and those colors and those flavors, and that you love the crunch. You are definitely a salad fan.
I
Probably
am a salad geek.
salad geek. Yeah, salad geek. You're a
Yes.
salad geek. Well, so what have you found to be good? We'll bring up our slides, but when did you fall in love with the salad, so to speak? Like how have you
Well,
always loved them?
no, in fact, I haven't really liked them even as a child. And I think because I'm so used to like the iceberg lettuce and then some tomato, throw some veggies on there. It's a little watery. The dressing you spill over the top, and one bite has dressing, the next bite doesn't. And I think the difference is eating out and traveling so much. I love a restaurant quality salad where the presentation it's beautiful. You have all the colors of the rainbow. Every bite includes, you get a little salt, pepper, dressing, the flavor is in each bite. And I think that was the kicker for me is, I go to a restaurant and I want my salad at home to be the same. And it seems like it should be easy, but there's some things that you have to do to really, get that same quality flavor.
Well, let's take a look. So tips for flavorful restaurant quality salads.
Well, and I think starting out, whatever the greens you're going to use, make sure you wash them. You put them in the salad spinner. You get some of that moisture off of them. And that's something that I do all the time. And even now, so, getting your foods from farmers markets and groceries and wherever you get them from, I always like to rinse in lemon essential oil, especially if whether I'm using fruits or vegetables. I rinse it in the oil. And if I don't have the oil handy, or let's say something's really dirty or you got it right out of your garden, another favorite of mine is to use the doTERRA hand wash. I mean, it's something that it even adds a little flavor to it, more of like a light, crispy, crunchy flavor. And even you've always added lemon juice to your salads. You add lemon juice or lime juice to everything you make.
Yes. And for, you had a book, Debbie, a long time ago. It was one of your raw foods books, the many, many that you have. And the woman who wrote the book was talking about her favorite salad dressing. And I just did this again the other day. Totally forgot about it, but I just did it. Her favorite salad dressing is juice of one lime, juice of one lemon, a little bit of water, salt and pepper, and then she chops in fresh parsley, fresh cilantro, fresh basil, and fresh mint, which I wouldn't necessarily have put those together. But I did it the other day and it is mind blowing. And then she said, optionally, vegan Parmesan cheese. And I didn't have that, so I didn't do it. But it was fantastic with just the lime and lemon juice, and then this little bit of fresh herbage. Herb,
Yes, I like that term, herbage.
herbage.
Well, and one thing I learned too is, making salads for people who aren't regular salad eaters. Sometimes if you just squirt, like you squeeze the lime and the lemon on it, like if you watch, Bobby Flay and all these other chef shows, they're always squeezing that on there. But you mentioned something, you mentioned water. And I noticed that if you take the citrus juice and you mix a little water, you're not going to get that sharp, like, pucker that you get from lemon juice or lime juice. That little hint of water will smooth the flavor out.
Yeah, and for those who want, the lime and the lemon are acidic, you can also, just like you would in a vinegar combination, add a little bit of olive oil or add a splash of avocado oil. You absolutely can do that. But I find that the flavor and feel is great with just that little bit of water and then the fresh herbs and juice.
Well, and I think it's key is make your own dressing. And it's pretty, like you just mentioned, it's pretty simple to make your own dressing. Or even with your oil, something that really impressed me from Eat Healthy Kauai, the vegan restaurant that we ate at most of the time while living on Kauai, is they always take like leftover garlic and some of the herbs and they throw it right in their oil and let it sit with the oil. And then they've got this herbaceous oil that you can put onto your dressings or add to anything.
That's an excellent thing to do. It's actually one of my favorite things, and you can use it for salads or you can use it for light cooking, cooking at low temperatures if it's in olive oil. So, so good. Yeah, but I mean, the sky's the limit. And honestly, I've made a lot of dressings, and most of them are what ingredients do I have? And they're good. If you use any of these techniques or any of these items, you're going to get something that's good. And the key is to stir it all together, taste it, and then practice adjusting. So, does it need a little bit more sweetness? Does it need a little tiny bit of salt or pepper? Does it need some bite? And as you do that, really quickly you start to develop your palate for creating a dressing that works for you.
And I do like the creamy dressings as well. So a lot of times I'll use a vegan mayo and add in some yellow mustard, even making my Caesar dressing.
Mm.
The Caesar salad dressing that I make has a lot of the yellow mustard, the mayo, and some of these other herbs, and it fills the spot. Or even a dilly ranch dressing. Taking some of your mayo, adding some dill, and it's really simple to come up. Even if you like tarragon, you could add tarragon, and you get this great dill flavored dip or salad dressing.
Yum, yum, yum. I did not eat dinner yet. It's great though. I mean, that's one of the best things that you can do to improve your salad experience, especially if you're someone who thinks that you don't like salads from home. I know, Debbie, this made a big difference for you.
And always making extra. Like if you're making a dressing, put it away in another bottle and keep adding to it, or make your separate dressings that you can use for the week.
It's great because they do improve with time too. Those
Hmm.
flavors really blend and it starts to really taste good. So you mentioned this. You mentioned how you like to wash and dry your greens, and sometimes you use the lemon essential oil or you use the On Guard. This is something else that I actually learned from you, and I learned it. I misheard you and did it wrong. But you remember when you said, "Oh, you're making a kale salad. Sprinkle a little salt in there and then massage it." So I did, but I missed the word little, and I put a lot of salt, and it was terrible. And then I started over, and it was great. But tell us about this. The salt adds shine, but it also does some other things too, especially with kale, right? It breaks it down.
Well, I love kale, and I always will love kale. And what happens is sometimes kale can be like a really sharp, crunchy type of a leaf, where it feels like it's cutting your mouth. It's so like stalky. But if you massage it with salt, it really breaks it down to a nice, not so stiff type of a leaf. And I love that. And even using different salts, like sometimes I brought my salts here because I have my sea salt, my Italian sea salt, and
Ooh.
then I have my Chef's Himalayan pink sea salt. And the Italian sea salt has kind of a earthy taste to it. So sometimes when I want to bring more of that earthy flavor to it, and it would be something like with a kale, it doesn't need to be any more earthy. It's earthy enough. So you want the lightness to come out, and that's when I would use the Himalayan. And the Himalayan is the one that really gives it the shine. I find, that your just salad becomes so bright with the Himalayan salt.
So beautiful. One of the other things that I've seen you do that I do now is I rarely use just one type of green in a salad. Whereas it used to always be romaine or iceberg. Now I might have some of those in there. Those still have great vitamin K. They're good for you, nice crunch. But I like to add things like cabbage, or you have arugula listed here, or kale and
Yes.
spinach, or field greens. Really using a variation not only helps you with nutrients, but can help you have a better salad experience.
Well, and all the greens have like a different texture. So I
Yeah.
love having all those multiple textures in a salad. And even like the different, like the peppery taste versus, more of like a light watery taste.
Yeah, and I have really started adding chopped cabbage to salads or coleslaw, or if you go and buy bag salads lately, a lot of them are the cabbage because it holds up. They can chop it up and it will stay in the bag for weeks. But I find that, if I've got a big salad, even a handful, like 3/4 of a cup to a cup of chopped cabbage can add some really nice crunch and flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is over here.
Well, and it's all the things that then you add to it. Because sometimes even your salads may not even have greens. But, greens are a nice base. I always love like a big handful of greens in my salad or more. And then adding things like the grains, the breads, the granolas, and of course fruits and veggies. But, knowing that you can do like roasted, pickled, there's so many different ways to add the veggies to it.
Well, you and I, when we were living together, working together in Kauai, a lot of times would roast up a big pan of mixed veggies, different peppers and onions, and sometimes potatoes, or what was it, kohlrabi?
Yeah, kohlrabi.
Yeah, bok choy.
Bok choy, yeah, that's my
That's
favorite.
what I was looking for, bok choy. Yeah, you love roasted bok choy. But when you have leftovers of those, you can even throw them cold on a salad, and because of the roasting, there really is a richness of flavor that gets added. You are a big fan of fruit on salads too.
I do. I like the sweetness. I like the sweet and savory mix. The dates are one of my favorite salad additions.
Oh, dates. I don't have any. I wish I did. So good. Grains, bread, granola, fruit, or veggies. I like to add, I do a salad that is a little bit of couscous, a little bit of, for those of you who are eating dairy, a little bit of goat cheese, balsamic vinegar, and then roasted veggies served over mixed greens, and that is pretty fantastic.
Well, and also, we're buying air fryers and we're playing around with, other fancy kitchen tools. And a lot of times I make way too much in the air fryer. Like I think I want,
8 pounds of
broccoli, and I put
broccoli.
half the bag of broccoli. So it's really nice just to save it and then use it for, the salad another day.
Oh, air fried broccoli is fantastic on salads.
And then something that you do that I love is you like to take the veggies, like let's say something as simple as like carrots or celery or, even broccoli, and you like to put them in a jar, a mason jar, and seal it in water. Or, you always have like the crispiest veggies. So there's nothing worse than having limp veggies on top of your salad. And I love how you always use like ice water or what else do you do? You use foil? You have lots of tricks to keep them fresh.
Yeah, so with herbs, lettuce, and veggies, with herbs, I take a damp paper towel. So I get them right away, get a damp paper towel, loosely wrap them in paper towel, and then either put them in a glass container that has a lid, or if you don't have that, you can also use like a storage bag with something airtight. And just having that dampness there without overt moisture helps the herbs last longer. So whenever I buy cilantro, obviously need that a lot for guacamole, or any other herbs that break down quickly, the paper towels are a great tool. I definitely like to, when I come home from the grocery store, wash all of my veggies right away and figure out how I'm going to store them. And chop. So chop and store. And I like, I put a drop of that doTERRA, here's what the bottle looks like. It's about this big. doTERRA lemon oil in the water. I think you know that. And you have some of that there, don't you? Oh yeah, there it is.
It's always on my sink.
Yeah, and I put that in there. So I'll do up my celery, I'll chop up my carrots. If I have cucumber, I'll layer cucumber. Sometimes the cucumber I will rest in a vinegar. So it's not pickling, so to speak, but similar tartness. So sometimes I'll chop cucumbers and store them in vinegar with a little bit of salt and pepper and then throw those on the salad, and that's a nice technique as well.
Well, and then adding fat to your salad. I love adding avocado, seeds. I use the vegan cheese and even leftovers. Mark and I went to P.F. Chang's. We don't have one on Kauai, so when we drove by, we're like, yes, let's go in. I haven't been to one in years, and I added the crispy green beans and my lettuce wrap leftovers to my salad.
So see, this is such a great idea. A lot of people don't think of that, but really you can throw anything on your salad and it's fantastic. I sometimes do, Debbie, I do a big veggie hash, which has a little bit of potato and then all kinds of root vegetables and onions and garlic, lots and lots of flavor. And that is fantastic cold, like a 1/4 cup of that over a big pile of greens. with a little bit of dressing is fantastic too. So you can
Well, and I
really
love
get
how
creative.
you do that. You roast all of your root vegetables, like your rainbow carrots and everything, and you make that, and then you put it on a flatbread for pizza, and then we have it in our salad, and it's not like having the same thing every day. It tastes so different in each of those different entrees.
Yeah, because you're changing up the flavors and adding other ingredients, so it really does shift. And because, I'm super passionate about not throwing away produce. It really upsets me if something goes bad. So I'm always looking up ways to use something that's on its way to bad. And one of the other things while we're on the salad technique here, if you've got lettuce that is almost gone, there are amazing lettuce soups with all different kinds of flavors and flavor palettes. Some of them use potato to thicken. It's blended, but you can still get the benefit and the nutrients from the lettuce and eat it. I'm not sure if you would eat it, Debbie. It probably you're looking like maybe it doesn't appeal to you, but I've been
No,
shocked at how good they are.
no, your soups are always fantastic. The reason I'm making a face is I'm laughing because I also see you clean out all the veggies and you throw it in your smoothies.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I'll look
yes.
at it like, oh, this lettuce is done. She's like, let me have that, and it goes right in the blender.
I won't notice. Yeah, sometimes you still have to rinse it one more time before that. But I've had some close calls with produce, but I try to keep an eye on it, and I'm sort of anal about inventorying fresh produce in the fridge, and I like to, if it looks like it's going to go, if I have to get a couple of other ingredients to make something to make use of what I have and not toss it, I really, really like to do that.
Even
Yeah.
with avocado, it's interesting with the salad, and I think we included the recipe for my corn, avocado, and tomato salad.
Oh, that's so good.
I made it and it sat in the fridge for a day, and I had it in a bowl, and I also put it in a jar for later. And the other night, Mark and I were sitting there, and I thought, well, I'm going to eat this for dinner. And I started eating it, and then I remembered that we had some chips left over
Oh,
from Qdoba. So we I grabbed the chips and I started eating it. And then Mark, he's like, well, maybe I'll try it. And he took a scoop of the corn salad and we demolished the whole bowl. And then he's like, is there more? He said, oh, I have a whole jar of it. And we just polished off the whole thing, like 4 servings of the salad. It was so delicious. So we never really got to eat it as an entree. We just ate it as a snack one night.
but you know what? You're still getting loads of vegetables and good nutrients and other things that you wouldn't already get. And we'll get to that recipe. I think we should definitely share that.
Nice.
This is one thing that I have seen you do, and that's, first of all, you're super into presentation. You want it to look beautiful, or you don't really feel like eating it. And sometimes I will bring the dressing on the side, and it's not the same. So you coat very lightly first, and you taste it, but you make sure everything is evenly distributed, that it looks really beautiful and fresh, and you taste it, and then you've got extra dressing on the side if you need it. Me, I always dump the whole thing on there, and then it's wilty and horrible, or I don't put it on there and it's not great. But you are so precise with the dressing application.
Well, and
You really are.
years ago I used to always use like a tongs, or you'd have like the
Oh yeah.
hands that you would toss the salad with. And sometimes that bruises what you have in the bowl and just doesn't look so nice. And what I got from you is just get in there with your hands. It's massage the kale with your hands, and even, adding the dressing. There's nothing better than using your hands to toss the salad and getting every little bit.
Yes, and then just wash your hands or wipe them on the front of your clothing, and you're good to go.
But presentation is key. Like, again, like I want my salad to look like you would get it in a restaurant, that you're serving it as a special meal.
And then it really feels like a treat, and it's fun, and it gives you a chance to enjoy the flavors. Um, Oh, you mentioned some of these things: color, crunch, protein, sweet or salty, and fat. So a lot of this is just tasting and really experimenting. And both you and I love to write down if something was good. We try something new and it was good. It gets written down, just to sort of keep it in play for future salads or future recipes.
Well, and even, really playing with substitutions. If you don't have something, like a lot of times I don't always like a red onion, but I like a green onion, or, just a regular old white or yellow onion. So it's not as if you always have to follow the recipe exact.
No, but if you're looking at these items that you have mentioned here, does it have color? Does it have crunch? Is there a protein? Is there sweetness, saltiness? Is there a little bit of a fat source, whether that's the oil itself or the avocado or seeds or something else? Looking out for these different elements will help to keep it fresh and interesting.
Well, and I think if you add all of them, it's kind of that's the tip. Do you have a little
Yeah,
bit of everything? Otherwise, it just becomes kind of that salad that you get at the restaurant that, doesn't have a lot of pizzazz.
yeah. The side salad that nobody's excited about. Well, let's talk about this because this is the one you were talking about a minute ago, right? You made this and you guys went nuts on it.
We did. And what I did is I wanted to, make it all in advance and then, get some lettuce for the bottom of the bowl and put the salad on top of it. So, I took the corn and I love buying the frozen white corn and
Yeah.
using that for a lot of the recipes. So, I just brought the white corn to temperature. I actually used the microwave, a little bit of water, and, got the corn to a fresh place. The two avocados, the tomato, and again, red onion is not my favorite. And I had some green onion, so I added green onion to it. So I mixed that all up, and I think there's more.
Yes, so these are the ingredients for the salad itself, but then there's the ingredients for the dressing that you made.
Right. And then I used the lime and olive oil, the fresh cilantro, salt, the chili pepper. I skipped, guess what ingredient?
She hates cumin.
I do.
I love
I
it.
do.
I love it.
And then I had the garlic and, so made my dressing, took all the veggies, and mixed it all together and then put it in the fridge to get it nice and cool. And I was planning on putting it on top of a salad, but it never got that far. It became more of like a salsa.
Sounds
It was
fantastic.
fantastic. We're definitely making it again.
Oh, fantastic. That sounds so good. There's so many different ways you could use that too for people who are cooking a protein like chicken. That'd be great over chicken. And for those who are vegan, I think that would be great over a sweet potato. Do a savory sweet potato and throw that over the top as a garnish for some extra flavors and nutrients. I'm
Well, and
hungry.
even with the salad, we ate so much of it, and Mark said, "Well, like, was it bad? Did we do bad?" And I'm like, "No. I mean, it was two avocados, a tomato. I mean, no, that was a perfect binge."
Yeah, you're gonna have something, right?
Right.
Well, speaking of a binge, this is something that while we were on Hawaii, mac salad, macaroni salad is served everywhere. Very popular there, and it's served in other parts of the country as well. But you experimented for a while to find the simple, down and dirty, most delicious recipe that you could make. Do you want to tell us about this one?
Sure. And typically the Hawaiian mac salad, it will have, the elbow noodles, tons of mayo, sometimes even like some vinegar and sugar in it. Mac salad is kind of addictive in Hawaii, and I think they sneak some sugar in there just to keep you eating it. And then of course like the carrots, the onions, and the celery chopped in it, and I always get a stomach ache. Like I love the mac salad, but I just don't do well with dairy, so I wanted to come up with a vegan option, and I wanted it to be really simple that it doesn't take a lot of effort and still tastes wonderful. And I just started with a cup of the vegan mayo and some mustard, 2 tablespoons of the mustard, chopped up my celery and onions, and then I shredded some carrots, and then just simply salt and pepper. And I mixed it all together, and I thought, let's just see, this will be the base, and we'll see what do I need to add to it. And really, it turned out perfect. We didn't even need anything, and my always test is with Mark because he got a good palate and he's very picky with what he eats, especially when it comes to vegan. And I mix it together, and he's like, wow, this is really good flavor. And it needed nothing. I mean, and you could add maybe some chili pepper flakes or, some hot sauce to it if you wanted to.
Mm.
But it was delicious all on its own.
you made a small amount of it in your first test batch, and found out how easy it was to replicate, and you've made a lot of it since then.
I have. I started with, the 2 cups makes a pretty heaping batch. I
It
mean, that
does.
was the small batch. And then because I bought my macaroni from Costco, I thought, what the heck? Let's just make a whole bunch of it. So when Mark came to visit for 3 weeks, we had heaping Tupperware piles full of this mac salad. But like when you eat out in Hawaii, everywhere you go, you get mac salad on the side, and it was like that every meal. We had a little scoop of mac salad.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, this is great. These are some great tips and tools for those who want to experiment with bringing in more massive salads each day. And we hope if you're having fun, you'll share some of your favorite recipes in the comments. We'd love to see them. What's your favorite salad? If you have a link to it, all the better, because we'll definitely give it a shot. Anything you want to say before we close, Debbie?
No, sounds good, Kelly. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye bye.